If you're wondering what's happening to those Sahel region who have just passed through revolution in the past 2 years, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, well, I am here to tell you that they keep on winning. Today, we have just heard that the port of Cotonou, meaning Benin, has lifted sanction, specifically the trade sanction for Niger. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent and particularly from the Sahel region. For today, our focus is Niger. So this is the good news that came actually today. As of yesterday, the director general of, let me just share this news with you. The director general of the port of Cotonou has shared the news that, the port of Cotonou, a significant transit hub for goods destined for Niger, has lifted its previous suspension on imports. Now, the General Directorate of the Autonomous Port of Cotonou is a significant stride towards restoring economic activities and trade flows between Benin and Niger. There you go. That's why I said Niger keeps on winning, or this Sahel region keeps on winning. Now, I want to share with you, just to give you a bit of a background. Maybe let's just go through this news from the port of Cotonou. So now, in terms of revitalizing these trade flows, the port of Cotonou said, or Benin said, that given the landlocked nature of Niger, it primarily relies on the port of Cotonou for its imports. So the recent lifting of the suspension is expected to revitalize trade activities between the two countries, making it easier for goods to flow into Niger. Now, it's always important to bring a bit of history, to give it a context. As you all know, when Niger passed through that revolution at the end of July this year, it was alienated or sanctioned by ECOWAS, the economic the economic community for Western African states, and it was only Burkina Faso and Niger. Burkina Faso and Mali, who stood by Niger when it was, facing all those kinds of sanctions. The sanction came not only from its neighboring country, ECOWAS, but also from the African Union, from the international, financial institutions, from their bilateral relation, from the US, from European countries, and from the European Union as well. So it was only Burkina Faso, Mali, and also, the global South, superpowers like China and Russia who stood by Niger or this Sahel region, and countries like Iran and also from the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia started to create their own bilateral relation, regardless of what these Western the Western countries or the global powers as it exists now have done against Niger. So now it looks like that, slowly but surely, these ECOWAS members are realizing they cannot continue alienating this country. They need each other. It's first and foremost, it's an economic community for Western African states. There is a lot of trade on daily basis that has been going on and now stopped, because of this sanction. They knew that it's not, they cannot continue like this. So they are slowly ignoring ECOWAS and, creating their own bilateral relation, regardless of what they stood for, when ECOWAS made that statement. So ECOWAS was divided by two when the Niger had that revolution. The Western media call it a coup. Countries who stood by Nigeria, because this was an agenda mainly run by Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, who is the current chairperson of ECOWAS, who said that they will militarily intervene. So there were countries who stood by Bola Tinubu. So Benin was one of them. Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Togo, and slightly also Ghana. And they even say they will contribute military. And Benin even went more further. went more further, giving a military base for France, and Niger actually cut its military tie with Benin because of that. Because of that news, in order to defend itself, if there is a military tie, between those as a bilateral relation or in terms of security, then it cannot defend itself. So it has to cut that. And let me just remind you. So this is part of Cotonou. Now, what you have to know is Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, they are all landlocked countries, okay? So look at this tiny country, Benin here, you see Togo here, you see Ghana here. Now, Benin is really a very strategic place for them. It shares borders with Burkina Faso and Niger. So it used to be really a major port hub for these countries up until the sanction was imposed on these countries. So now it really means a lot for Niger, for Benin to lift that sanction. Before Benin, actually, Ghana also lifted up and they said all these three landlocked countries, they can use the port of Ghana. It's not only because they were sympathizing this country, because Ghana also needs this country. They want that import export. So Niger is not going to use it for free. They're going to pay money. So they need that trade alliance. So now slightly they're realizing what kind of, what kind of crisis they have done, not only against the people of Niger, but against those Sahel region, but also against their own, economy by alienating them. So this is really a good countryside, slowly but surely realizing this. Now, again, back in September, you can see Niger scraps military pact with Benin over aggression claims, because the French troops were supposedly to use the Benin base as they share their border. Benin share border with Niger and France. It was in that crazy time they were committed to reinstate that ousted president, so they wanted to use Benin. But thankfully, ECOWAS, they know what they are doing, and their people inside, even in Nigeria, were against that action to militarily intervene in Niger, so they could not pass that bill. So this was in September. Now, ahead of this, look, the Benin president, just a week ago, he said he urged renewal of ties with coup-hit Niger. Now, just after a week, it was yesterday that the port of Cotonou, meaning Cotonou is the capital of Benin. Also, the port is known as Port of Cotonou. So, the Port of Cotonou breaks that news or released that statement saying that they have lifted the sanction for import for Niger. I mean, it's not just it's not a charity thing. Niger gonna pay for that, and Benin is going to benefit from that. Now, I found a very interesting news. From this, let me just share with you from what the president of Benin said a week ago. If I can find it, I really hope to find it. Now, this is in terms of revitalizing. There was an important statement that he shared, which I find it. Yeah, here, Benin president urges renewal of ties with coup-hit Niger. Now, look at what he says, okay? Now, in his annual address, meaning the president of Niger to the nation before parliament, President Talon expressed the wish to see relation between Benin and the countries where coup have happened quickly reestablished. And he further said, he said he did not fail to address in a discreet and repeated way, meaning secretly, message to those brotherly nations, meaning he says Burkina Faso and Mali, and notably Niger, where President Mahmoud, the ousted president, was kicked out. Now, he said this also because he knows what he did. He was up in the front to contribute army to military intervene in Niger. Now, this is what he said. There is a time to condemn, a time to demand, and a time to take stock and take notes. This is very important because it was something different that he said before, but now he realizes back to in his normal state of mind. So he said there is now it's a time to take note and and reverse what they have said before. He continues, our partners, meaning Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, need to play their part and say clearly what their intentions are and what they want from the international community, he told lawmakers. So, I mean, well done, President Tola. That's really important, to realize what what you have said before, and what made you to say this now. Okay, now let's continue now to the breaking news. What else this port of Cotonou said while they say we have lifted the sanction for Niger? In terms of boosting economic activities, they said this restoration of trade is said to be boost for economies, meaning also boosting the regional trade of both nations. Business that rely on the importation of goods will likely experience a positive impact from this decision. Definitely, rightly so. And then it continues, the lifting of the suspension or the sanction will allow for a smoother movement of commodities, thus aiding economic growth. Now, the port of Cotonou plays a vital role in the region's trade dynamics. Situated in Benin, it serves as a key transit point. As I told you, it was a major port of hub for these countries for good entering Niger. The port suspension had likely hindered economic activities and disrupted trade flows in the region. However, its decision to resume imports signifies a crucial step towards economic recovery for Benin and Niger. And I add on that note, not only for Benin and Niger, it also add a major economic, growth or a major action one step ahead in their ambition of economic development for also for the regional trade. And because it also sends a huge statement for those, for those who are still standing rigid with Bola Tinubu, like Senegal and Ivory Coast. We really expect a good news will come out of this, and they will take their note and they take a lesson from what Benin did. But ultimately, we expect even more importantly than the international community, whether it's IMF, Europe, European Union, or the US. The major action should come from the African Union. It should reinstate the membership of this countries. It should not alienate. It cannot continue to be used as a tool for the global powers or for the Western countries. African Union should take action in terms of what the people of Africa need. So we really expect that. I mean, well done, Benin. You guys here, thank you again for tuning in. Let us know in the comment section, what do you think of Benin's action? And, will it inspire other ECOWAS members who are still, on that state of mind of militarily intervening in Niger or whatever? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like what we bring you here, please give it thumbs up. It will really help our YouTube algorithm. And let's empower each other with information and knowledge. So share the video with others. Do not keep it to yourself. What we do is here to give it the Pan-African perspective and to create awareness. So if you just keep it for yourself, then we are not, we did not achieve our goals. But if you want to help us further, then you can go to our description section or to the pinned comment where you can get our PayPal account and you can donate any amount. Thanks again. And I'll see you on the next one. A quick shout out to you, Fact Over Fear, Adam Mutalyab, Mimi Roberts, Radhika Sharma. Thank you again for all for tuning in. Please share it to the video. Yes, Adam, I will try my best, and this is what I do. I will keep on. This is history in the making, and I'll try to keep you up to update you on daily basis on what's happening in the Sahel region. That's where my interest is, but also in the whole continent. Okay, thank you very much. It's a bye-bye for me now. Ciao, ciao. Don't forget to tune in 2 hours again. We have another breaking news from Nigeria. Ciao. I'll see you then.